Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to XPS Tech. My name is Vineet, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about two most critical steps during a Linux installation on a dual boot mode. Now, for those of you who do not know what a dual boot mode is, it is a very popular technique to install multiple operating systems on a single computer. For example, you can have your Windows operating system on C drive and your Linux operating system on any other partition of your hard disk. This way, you can boot to different operating systems during the start of your computer. You can have a bootloader, which is like a small program that runs during the start of your computer, and it contains list of all the operating system installed on your hard disk. Now you can select which OS you want your computer to boot to, and then depending on your choice, your computer will boot to that operating system. But with that said, dual boot installation is a little trickier than the standard Linux installation. And in this video, we're going to talk about two most important steps during a Linux installation. One is the partitioning scheme. What is the correct way to partition your hard disk? And the other is the bootloader, which is very important. If you do not take care of this little program, your computer may not start at all, or you may end up corrupting your previous installation. So in this video, we are also going to look how we can retain our original Windows bootloader instead of installing Linux bootloader like grub, and add an entry of our newly installed Linux OS on the Windows bootloader, so that in future, if we decide to get rid of our Linux partition, uninstall it, we do not end up corrupting our bootloaders or our previous Windows installation. Alright, so with that said, let's begin today's video. Alright, so here I am on a Windows 8 machine installed on VMware. As you can see, I have three partitions. On the C drive, I have my Windows 8 installed, and I have two empty partitions D and F of sizes 14.6 GB and 16 GB respectively. Now let's install Ubuntu on D drive. I'm going to start Ubuntu installation and fast forward the video and come back at the disk partitioning step. Alright. Now let's click on Try Ubuntu. Now at the installation type window, choose the last option which says something else and click continue. Alright, so now we are at the disk partitioning window. Here we choose the partition where we want to install our Linux operating system. Now as you can see, under /dev/sda we have four partitions. First is the SDA1 partition, which is of 367 MB of size. Now this contains our Windows 8 bootloader, so we do not want to mess up with this partition. Next is the SDA2 partition. Here we have our Windows 8 operating system installed. Now then we have the SDA3 and SDA5 partition, which actually is the D and at the F drive respectively. So we want to install Linux on the D drive, which is SDA3. So click on SDA3 and then click on change. Now the first option is to resize the partition. If you want to do that, you can do it from here. We do not want to do that, so let's move on. Next is the use as option. Now here we select the file system for our partition. Now the current file system is the extended 4 journaling file system, so we choose that, and then we click on the format the partition checkbox, and then for the mount point, choose \, which is the mount point for your root file system. Now Linux also provide the option for storing your different folders like your user account, your temporary folders in different partition or in different drives. Now this is important particularly for large businesses where they want to keep these information in different partition or different drives, so that in future, in case of any drive getting corrupted or getting damaged, it does not take down their entire system. But for a normal home user, just select \, for the root folder and click OK. Now next is the device for bootloader installation. This is very important. By default it points to /dev/sda, which is where your master boot record resides. Now in today's video I'm going to show you the technique to retain your Windows 8 bootloader and boot to Linux operating system using Windows 8 bootloader. So for that we do not want to install Linux bootloader on /dev/sda, because in future if we decide to get rid of Linux installation, this will end up corrupting our master boot record and our system will not boot up. So it is very important, in the option select the device where we are installing our Linux, which is under /dev/sda3. So click on that and then click install now. Now you get a warning telling you that you have not created a partition for swap space. Now swap space is required for a computer which has very low physical memory, that is RAM, like 512 megabits of RAM or lower. Now the swap space is used by the operating system as a substitute for your low physical memory, so that in future when you're running your computer and your physical memory gets full, the swap space partition is used and your computer runs smoothly and does not freezes or does not bog down. Alright, so we do not have to worry about that. So let's click continue. Alright, so now the installation will continue. Let me fast forward the video and I'll come back at the end of the installation. Alright, so now we have reached the end of the installation. Now do not click on restart now, click on continue testing. Very important, because we are going to run few commands in here. And open up terminal. Type in sudo su super user. Alright, so what we are going to do here is we are going to copy the Linux bootloader to the C drive, which is required when we go to Linux and add the Linux option to the Windows bootloader. So to do that, type in mkdir, make a directory /mnt mount /share and press enter. And now mount our C drive, which is /dev/sda2 on the mount share directory /mount/share. Alright, next is to copy the Linux bootloader to the C drive. So to do that, type in dd, give a space, input file is /dev/sda3. This is where we have installed Linux, and the output to /mnt/share, which is our C drive, and give the file name ubuntu.bin. The byte size of the grub bootloader is 512 bytes, so we type in 512 and count equals to 1. Alright, so type in this command and press enter. It says it has copied 512 bytes, so press exit and close the terminal and restart your computer. So now I'm in Windows 8. Let me log in here. Now the final step is to add the Ubuntu option to your Windows 8 bootloader. To do that, open up command prompt as administrator. So choose run as administrator. Now to add the option of our Linux installation on the Windows 8 bootloader, we are going to use the tool bcd edit. So type in bcd edit, give a space, type in /create space /d and the name that we want to give. Type in Ubuntu and /application is boot sector. Press enter. Now it has created this unique ID for our Ubuntu operating system. So we are going to just select all, Control C and paste it to a text document. So let me create a text document and paste it here. Now copy this ID E59 Go back to the command prompt. Now type in bcd edit, give a space, type in /set, and then give the ID, and then type in device space partition. Let me maximize the command prompt. Partition equals to C colon. Alright, now press enter. Next type in bcd edit, give a space /set, give a space, paste the ID, give the path to /ubuntu.bin. So this is the file that we created when we finished our Linux installation. So do remember to type the file name correct. If you have used the capital letter, make sure that you type the file name correctly. So now press enter. It says operation successful. Wonderful. Again type in bcd edit, give a space /display order, give the ID, and then /add last. Press enter, and then next is the timeout. So type in bcd edit /timeout, give it to 30 seconds, will suffice. Give it to 30 seconds. Now press enter, and that's all that is required to be done. Now close the command prompt, and now when we restart our computer, we should see Ubuntu as an option in the Windows 8 bootloader. So close this file out, save that, and let me restart the computer. The computer is restarting. Now we should see the Windows 8 bootloader showing the Ubuntu option this time. Alright, great. So as you can see, now we have Ubuntu option in our Windows 8 bootloader. So now if you want to go to your Ubuntu installation, just click on Ubuntu, and that should boot up to Ubuntu operating system. So here we are on the grub bootloader. Just press enter, and this should take us to Ubuntu. Alright, so as you can see, it has booted to our Ubuntu installation. Let me type in the password. Alright, so as you can see, we have successfully logged into Ubuntu machine. Let me go back to Windows 8 and show you how, if in future you decide to get rid of Linux, you can simply format the partition, and that will not break the bootloader or corrupt your Windows 8 installation. Alright, so let me restart the computer. Alright, so now I'm in the Windows 8 machine. Now to get rid of your Linux installation, first open up disk management, search, type in disk management, and choose create and format hard disk partition. Now it opens up disk management. Now here, as you can see, we have the F drive and the C drive. Now this is the partition where we have installed Linux. So all you have to do is right click on this and choose delete volume, click yes, and now it says unallocated. Now right click on new simple volume so that Windows 8 recognize this. Click on next and just click on finish. On format disk, and as you can see, a new volume D has been created. If we go back to a Windows Explorer and go to computer, you will see that we have got our D partition back. Now to remove the option from the Windows 8 bootloader, open up the command prompt as administrator. So right click and choose run as administrator, and type in bcd edit, give a space, type in delete, give a space, and then give the ID that we have saved here, so which is E59 blah blah. Just copy this out and paste it here and press enter. Now the operation is successful. Now if we restart the computer, we will no longer see the Ubuntu option. Just click restart. Alright, so the computer is restarting, and this time around we should not see the Ubuntu option, as we have deleted the partition where we installed Linux, and also we have deleted the option from the Windows 8 bootloader. So it should directly go to Windows 8 without throwing up any options to select. Alright, so great. As you can see, it has taken us directly to Windows 8 without giving us any option. So this is how you should partition your disk while doing a dual boot installation of Linux, and how you can add a Linux option onto a Windows 8 bootloader. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, kindly press the like button. If you want me to post such videos in future, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you have any comment or suggestion, please type that in the comment box. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.